As you know, France has been witnessing a strong populist movement since a year, which was called the Yellow Jacket. It was quite surprising, and so we saw crowds, people occupying the streets, cities, and behaving in a quite violent way. So there's been a quarrel in the way this movement should be interpreted. So this movement has been addressing the power of the state, the power of the ruling class, the power of the elite, the power of the ruling class, the people who are supposed to dominate the French people. And here again, as you can see, there is this long-term existence of this ideology of seeing the people as being dominated by a tiny, small minority. And at the very moment you say so, and at the very moment that Rothschild is seen as being at the core of this tiny group dominating the innocent French people, then anti-Semitism can appear, because Rothschild is obviously the Jew since at least 2 centuries. When you say Rothschild, immediately everyone knows the Jews. So there is a kind of linkages between the Rothschild myth, anti-Semitism, and this movement spreading all over the French society, bringing with it some old prejudice of anti-Semitism. Furthermore, it has started with Macron, the new president, because as you know, Macron has been working for Rothschild during several years. He is himself a civil servant. He went to the National School of Administration. He is exactly un haut fonctionnaire. It means someone who loves the state, who has been working for the state, who went through the meritocratic movement, meritocratic ascension through the state. He has been working inside the state many years. Then he went to Rothschild, and he has been working within the Rothschild Bank. So again, you see the kind of relation between the state, Macron, the president, Rothschild, and then the Jews. So Macron has been seen himself as being a Jew. And there has been a lot of anti-Semite caricatures against Macron with a big nose and everything. I mean, all the prejudices against the Jews has been addressed to Macron, all over France, within the Yellow Jacket movement. If the Rothschild has been the target of the Yellow movement nowadays, one must understand this in giving to this movement a kind of historical explanation. And the Rothschild were quite strong in the 19th century. They were at the core of the industrialization movement, like in England or like in Germany, but maybe even more in France. They play a huge role in the steel industry, in the bank industry, the bank obviously, and in the railways. They were the first who create the railways in France. So the Rothschild were, among others, but among others Jews also, like the Fuld or the big bankers who sometimes were Jews. They did play a huge role in the industrialization of the French society. They were not so strong in the bank system. The bank system in France was Catholic. The real heavy bank system was a Catholic, had a Catholic origin, a Catholic background. But the fact that they were also a bank, that the Rothschild were themselves bankers, and the fact that they played such a huge role in the modernization of the French economy, that they were quite close to the emperor, for instance. There is a very known picture of the Rothschild with the Emperor Napoleon III in their castle, their beautiful castle, and the emperor is coming to their castle, and there is a kind of social gathering in this castle which belonged to the Rothschild. So there is a kind of linkage. There was a close relation between the emperor, for instance, Napoleon III, and the crucial movement of the French industrialization and the Rothschild. So the Rothschild myth, the Rothschild presence, the Rothschild are, in a way, in another, at the core of the French ideology, of the French populism, for this kind of reason, because their actual presence, their actual strength was quite amazing in France, maybe more than in England. In England, I think they were extremely strong in the bank system, but I doubt if they were so strong in the industrialization, in the modernization, in the actual presence at the low level of the society. In France, they were.